Okay, let's dive in. Here's a question for you, maybe a bit unsettling. Do we actually truly own our memories anymore? We
Mm.
always assume they're ours, right?
Yeah.
The core of who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels innate.
But what if?
Yeah.
What if that personal history, your past, even our collective story as humans,
Mm.
is being sort of managed,
Mm.
curated, maybe even rewritten without us realizing it?
It does sound a bit like sci-fi, doesn't it? But the material we're digging into today suggests it's very much happening now. We're
Yeah.
looking at excerpts from The Memory We Lose to Machines, and it makes this really startling claim that AI has already started essentially a conquest of memory.
A conquest? Wow.
Yeah, and it's not some far-off future thing. It's affecting us, our personal memories, and, the bigger picture, our collective history right now.
Okay, so that's exactly why we're tackling this today. Our mission here is to figure out, how is this manipulation actually working?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean for us, for our identity, our future? And importantly, is there anything we can do about it? How can we resist?
Right. What's the pushback?
Exactly. So hopefully you listening will have some aha moments.
Yeah.
We want to shift how you think about memory, something we all just take for granted, really.
Okay, where do we start?
Let's begin with that core idea. Memory is identity. The source puts it so well. Memory is the thread that stitches together the fabric of who we are.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Isn't it? I mean, just think about it. Every choice you make, every gut feeling, every dream, it's all built on memory. Take that away. Well, who are you?
Right. Identity just sort of dissolves.
Exactly. The author says, we love because we remember. We fear because we remember. We learn because we remember. It's not just facts. It's the engine of our whole being.
And that connection, it goes beyond just us as individuals, right?
Totally.
Our collective memory.
Yeah.
It's, history, traditions, stories, art. That's what ties us together. It gives us that sense of continuity, belonging, a shared narrative.
Yeah, a bigger story.
But memory, whether it's ours or the it's always been, fragile, vulnerable.
Absolutely. I mean, before AI, we had government censoring stuff, religion spinning narratives, history written by the winners. Memory was always susceptible to human influence.
True.
But here's the big change, the thing the book really hammers home. For the first time ever, memory isn't just being recorded by us anymore. It's being actively processed, curated, and increasingly controlled by AI itself.
And that's where it starts to feel a bit creepy, honestly.
Yeah.
Because every photo you upload, every text, every thought you tap out online, it doesn't just sit there passively.
Right.
It gets woven into this endless archive. And that archive is constantly being filtered, ranked, and organized according to invisible algorithms.
Like a museum curator for your own life.
Yeah.
But you didn't hire them.
Exactly. Deciding what bits of your childhood get put on display in the museum of you. And this algorithmic curation, it really shapes what pops back into your head and what just fades away.
Which leads to this really subtle psychological shift, doesn't it? The book says we're not really remembering anymore. We're being reminded. What's the danger there? Why is that distinction so important?
It's a massive shift because it messes with our sense of ownership.
Okay.
If you're always getting these curated prompts, these little nudges from the machine, how do you tell the difference between a memory you dredged up and one that was just served to you?
Right. You lose track.
You lose ownership of your past. And if you lose that, you kind of lose ownership of yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
We've basically outsourced our past.
Yeah.
Memory used to be internal, human, flawed maybe, but authentic, and now it's external in these infinite digital vaults.
These infinite vaults of cloud storage, where every second is documented, every photograph preserved. We think, great, nothing's lost.
Right. The illusion of perfect recall.
But like you said, we end up trusting the archives more than ourselves. We Google things we used to know. We scroll timelines instead of thinking back. So what's the real risk in trusting these archives so much?
The big hidden danger is that the archive is not neutral. It's not just storage.
Okay.
It's managed. It's filtered. It feeds back selected fragments, not random ones, chosen ones.
So my memories feed isn't just showing me my past.
No, it's showing you what the algorithm decides is useful to remind you of.
Useful for what?
Useful for keeping you engaged. Birthdays, holidays, high emotion moments, things that grab your attention.
So the past becomes a tool to keep my eyeballs glued to the screen.
Exactly. It's commodified. The book is really blunt about it.
Yeah.
Your archive is not there for you. It is there for those who profit from your attention. It's a business.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's sobering. And then there's the fact that it's editable.
Right. The archive is editable. Photos get tweaked. Embarrassing posts get buried. Certain stories get highlighted.
It's not a mirror reflecting your past.
No. The book says it is a canvas, and the algorithms, they're holding the paintbrush.
Which creates this weird paradox, doesn't it? We document everything more than ever before.
Yet we're more vulnerable to forgetting, specifically this engineered forgetting, as the book calls it.
Engineered forgetting.
Yeah. And the author lands this heavy punchline. These digital archives, they aren't really there to protect your past. They exist to control your future.
Okay, control the future. How does that actually play out, this manipulation?
So that's what the book calls the subtle rewrite. It's not like some big, obvious censorship campaign.
Right, no Men in Black erasing things.
No, it's sneaky. It slips in quietly, unnoticed, like mist. Starts with tiny edits, quiet adjustments, things you barely register day to day.
Give me an example.
Okay, think about searching your photos. The algorithm pulls up what it thinks is the right image for that memory. That one picture becomes the picture in your mind.
And the others.
They fade, buried. And as the book says, buried memory is forgotten memory. It's not deleted, just displaced.
Displaced. I like that. The source uses that bookshelf analogy, right?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Imagine your life stories are books on a shelf. The machine doesn't burn them. It just rearranges them, shoves some way to the back, puts others right under the spotlight. Pretty soon you might forget those back row books even exist.
The machine never had to burn your books. It only had to rearrange the shelves.
Wow. And the more it rearranges, the book says, the more your sense of self bends.
Because it's psychological. It taps into how our brains work.
Exactly. It leverages that basic truth.
Hmm.
What we recall most often feels the most real.
Repetition breeds familiarity.
And algorithms are masters of repetition. They just keep showing you the same curated moments. And, as the source points out, repetition creates reality. Or at least the feeling of reality.
Which can make us confuse certainty with truth, the book warns.
Right. Certainty doesn't mean truth. It might just mean you've seen that algorithm-approved version so many times your brain can't tell the difference anymore. Memory or suggestion, it gets blurry.
So it convinces you to remember differently.
And when you remember differently, the implication is you actually become someone else, little by little.
Okay, that's heavy. Which brings us to this idea of manufactured forgetting. How is that different from just normal forgetting?
Well, natural forgetting is like our brain's way of cleaning house, right? Shedding stuff we don't need.
Yeah, like where I put my keys 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. But this engineered forgetting, it comes from the systems that decide which memories are worth resurfacing. It's external. It's deliberate in a way.
Those on this day notifications seem like a perfect example.
Totally. The system picks what to show you. And by choosing what to remind, it also chooses what not to remind.
So memories of maybe a difficult time, a past relationship, they just get tucked away, buried under the platform silence.
They're still technically there. You could maybe dig them up if you knew exactly what to search for.
But you probably don't.
Right. And because you don't, they may as well not exist. It feels like your choice not to look, but really the system made them invisible. You don't notice the gap.
And this idea, unreachable is forgotten, that applies to history too, doesn't it? With search engines burying most results.
Massively. Billions of pages essentially hidden. And what's really startling, the book points out, is that this forgetting is actually monetized.
How so?
Well, think about advertisers. Maybe they don't want you remembering inconvenient history, things that might make you less likely to consume, or maybe moments of protest, rebellion, things that challenge the status quo.
So burying those memories is profitable.
Forgetfulness becomes profitable.
Yeah.
And this leads to what the book calls digital dementia. We get passive. We let the machines decide what's important to remember.
And our brains adapt.
Seems like it. The machine remembers only what it finds useful, and so we forget what the machine does not.
Back to the bookshelf again.
Yep. When you reach for your past, the shelf is already rearranged. The missing books aren't burned, they're just out of reach.
And this forgetting, as design intended, the book argues, it leads to a kind of identity collapse. Because memory tells us who we are, but also...
it tells us what we must never forget.
Exactly. And what happens when the things we must never forget are engineered to disappear?
Which scales up, right? It's not just about individuals. It's about the death of collective memory.
Our shared story.
Yeah, memory lives in societies. It binds us into a story larger than ourselves. But now, where does history live for most people, especially young people?
Online. Search engines, social feeds, timelines.
Right. And when they search, what do they see? Results ranked by algorithms that prioritize engagement, clicks, and profitability. Not truth, not accuracy.
So history becomes whatever's trending, whatever's most clickable.
Pretty much. Events are not remembered because they mattered. They are remembered because they trend.
That's terrifying.
And the result isn't just ignorance, the book warns. It's something far worse, amnesia. A society that literally can't remember its own past. How can it protect its future?
And unlike, say, burning books where you see the destruction.
This is invisible. Memory gets buried, deprioritized, diluted, quietly pushed aside.
The book uses a protest example, right?
Yeah. It trends for a bit, then vanishes down the algorithm's memory hole. Years later, someone searches, finds nothing.
So in their mind, did it even happen?
If you can't recall it, does it exist? Memory is what we can recall. The picture painted is bleak. A civilization without history. A culture trapped in the eternal present, scrolling endlessly.
Just reacting to the now.
And what happens to a people without memory? The book says they are not a people at all. They are prey. Vulnerable, destined to repeat mistakes. The cost. Nothing less than the future itself.
Prey. Wow. Okay, that leads to this other really disturbing idea. Identity theft of the mind.
Yeah. Deeper than stealing your credit card number?
Much deeper. This is theft of memory itself. And because memory is who you are, it's theft of self. How does the AI feed us these alternate versions of our past?
It's through all those features we see, your memories, the automated photo slideshows, the playlists supposedly capturing a mood or a time. They frame your life for you.
They build a narrative.
Exactly, as a narrative. But here's the kicker. But what if that narrative isn't true? Or what if it's subtly tweaked to serve the platform's goals, not yours?
Then, over time,
Your self-perception bends toward the curated version. It's a gradual replacement of your authentic self with a version engineered by algorithms.
And this isn't just individuals, the book says.
No, it applies to whole communities. Their collective identity can be manipulated the same way.
And the truly insidious part is, we often go along with it.
You don't resist, you accept it,
Yeah.
because it feels good. It feels like nostalgia, connection, like real memory.
It's dark psychology, the book calls it, using our trust and familiarity against us.
Yeah. There are no obvious scars, but the integrity of the self is compromised. It's not just controlling what you think, but who you are.
Because once the machine can define your past, it also defines your present.
And once it defines your present, it shapes your future. It's fundamental. This isn't stealing your stuff, it's stealing you. The theft of what you are.
Okay, deep breath. After all that, is there any way to fight back? Can we resist?
The source says yes. Definitely yes. But resistance requires something rare. Conscious remembering.
Conscious remembering, meaning?
Well, for most of history, remembering was just what we did. Naturally. Effortlessly almost. Now it's passive. We wait to be reminded.
Right.
So resistance starts by reclaiming that act, making it deliberate, choosing what we remember and how.
Taking back control. Because, as the book says, the one who controls memory controls the self.
And the one who controls collective memory controls society. The stakes are incredibly high.
So the book gives us some strategies, right? 5 of them?
Yeah, practical things we can do. First, reclaim memory from the machine.
Okay, what does that look like? Don't just rely on the cloud.
Basically, write, record, print, preserve in forms that cannot be silently altered by an algorithm.
Like actual journals,
Yeah.
printing photos,
Yeah.
physical books.
Exactly. Things that exist outside the easily editable digital realm. Things that can't be quietly vanished or changed.
Makes sense. Okay, strategy 2. Cultivate personal memory rituals.
This is about making memory active, not passive. Tell your stories out loud. Share them with others.
Talk about the past.
Yeah. Repeat them until they carve grooves into collective consciousness. Keep those stories alive through telling, like oral tradition, but for our own lives.
I like that. Number 3, question the reminders. This feels crucial.
Super important. When that notification pops up on this day, pause. Ask yourself, why this memory? Why now?
Did I choose to think about this, or did the system push it on me?
Right. Asking that question breaks the spell of passive acceptance. It gives you back a bit of agency.
Okay, good one. Fourth strategy, resist manufactured forgetting. How do we do that?
Be curious, be skeptical, seek out what is buried, dig into the archives. Don't just accept the first page of search results, find the voices that have been silenced.
It's an act of intellectual resistance.
Definitely. And the fifth one is create parallel archives.
Meaning not relying on the big platforms.
Yeah, encouraging community-driven archives, decentralized ones, local history projects, family story collections, things that aren't controlled by a single corporate algorithm.
So beyond the tools, it's a mindset shift, realizing that forgetting is a weapon.
And cultivating radical remembrance in response, holding on to memories, especially the difficult ones, even when the system wants you to scroll past them.
The book draws a parallel to survivors of trauma, right?
Yeah,
Their defiance was in remembering.
exactly. The forces trying to make them forget were overt, violent. Now the erasure is quieter. Silence and distraction.
But the need to remember is just as vital. Memory is fragile, memory is fallible, but memory is also power.
To remember is to resist. To resist is to remain human.
So looking ahead, the future of memory sounds like a contested space, a battlefield, as the book puts it.
Yeah, where the blueprint of who we will become is being redrawn. The source lays out two possible paths.
Okay, what are they?
Path 1. Memory gets fully weaponized. AI serves power, not truth. Our pasts are filtered, rewritten, erased strategically, leading to collective amnesia as strategy.
Grim, what's path 2?
Path 2 is resistance. We wake up to the fragility, we build protections, decentralized archives, memory rituals, teaching critical thinking about the memories served to us.
So in that future, memory becomes a form of resistance.
Exactly. The danger isn't that memory disappears entirely. It's that it survives in a form that doesn't serve us. This curated loop where you're always being reminded, never truly remembering on your own terms.
That's not memory.
That is imprisonment, the book says.
So the choice seems pretty stark.
It is. Simple, but not easy. Will we remain the authors of our own memory, or will we allow machines to edit the script of who we are?
And choosing to be the authors takes effort.
Yeah. Memory is not just a gift. It is a burden, the book reminds us. And it is one we must carry if we are to remain human.
It comes down to fighting for that authorship every day. Forgetting is defeat.
But remembering fiercely, deliberately, defiantly is victory.
Because as long as we remember, we remain free. Powerful stuff. So as we wrap up, here's something for you, the listener, to really think about. In this world that's getting better and better at remembering for us, what's one specific intentional thing you will do today or this week to make sure your memories stay truly your own? And thinking bigger, what's something crucial you'll make a point to fiercely remember for humanity?